Hey, everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday night. It is great to have this artist with me tonight. He has had 6 albums, 18 singles on the Billboard Country Songs charts, including 3 number ones. And he's got a brand new project we're going to talk about tonight. It's to help our military, and it's a really cool and unique project with a special name. I'm going to let him tell you all about it. It's a pleasure to welcome Darryl Worley to My Kind of Country. Darryl, how are you tonight?
Man, I'm great. Thank you for having us.
It's an honor to have you, and this is a fabulous project that you are doing, and I'd like you to tell everybody about Awful Beautiful Life.
Well, we're creating we call it an active lifestyle community, and we have the first phase has begun, and it has all the amenities in it. We also are putting 75 of these tiny homes in the first phase, and it'll be operated like a hotel. I mean, the good thing about these luxury tiny homes is, like, you won't have anybody pounding on your ceiling or on the walls next to you in another hotel room. So you'll have your own little house there to spend time in. But you can also buy them outright and just live in the resort, or you can buy one and put it in what we call our management program, and we just manage that property for you and keep it rented out, and then send you a check at the end of the month. So sort of like 3 different ways that you can get involved in this. It is really close to Fort Rucker, so we think that it'll be very affordable housing for the military, and the amenities are ridiculous. I mean, there's not another place near Enterprise, Alabama, that has this kind of like quality amenities. Actually, we're calling this a 5-star resort, and there's not anything even close to that in the area. So, not to mention the people that are migrating south, and all the people that go to visit the Panhandle of Florida every year. It's a busy little spot, and we think we've done something that'll really help the military community there.
How did the idea come together for you?
So I got a call from a buddy of mine down in Enterprise who I've been doing different types of projects with for 25 years. His name's Ronnie Gilly, and we've been friends forever, and I don't know, I couldn't count the different things that we've done together, and he's always been sort of he's a developer guy and has just phenomenal ideas. And so he called me up and said, I think I've got something that's pretty unique. And my wife and I, we jumped in and went down to Enterprise and hung out for a few days, saw the renderings and saw his vision, saw that he'd already started, breaking ground on some of the stuff. The lagoon pool was underway, and they have an event center. They have pickleball courts and cornhole courts, and they have a dog park there for people with pets. They have a chill lounge, a clubhouse, an incredible fitness center that has like aerobics and yoga on one side, and then he calls it the meathead room on the other side, where people would like to lift. And then unlifted stuff just goes on and on and on. I mean, it's beautiful there. The weather's usually kind of subtropical, so they got all this palm trees in the landscaping, and it sort of sets you up to go to the beach, which is only about an hour and 20 minutes away. So.
Nice.
Ever since we saw this, my wife said she didn't want to leave. It really is a cool spot. So, we jumped in with him, and especially, the whole idea of Fort Rucker being right there. And short-term lodging is a problem there, but affordable housing, coming out of the last administration, that didn't exist. And so things are kind of getting back on track with the building again, and his idea for this tiny home thing, I just thought it was genius, because it's something affordable, and you can buy one of them right now for $89,000. It's an introductory first phase Darryl Worley discount deal, and so there's another option too. Is if you want to spend an extra $10,000, it goes up to $99,000, and you can get the full a furnishing package, which is honestly it's the better deal because you can't put all that stuff in there as cheap as we can because we're doing like 150 of them eventually. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's really awesome. And Darryl Worley, awfulbeautifulliferesort.com is the website, and we're going to put that information on our Facebook page.
I'm so thankful because I forget.
It's a mouthful, that's for sure. But obviously, the title behind this comes from your hit song, and I think it's a cool thing. I just love it.
Man, thank you so much. Yeah, that was Ronnie's idea to use that song because, we also thought a lot in this process about the common man, the blue-collar working man. A lot of people like that are getting to retirement age have worked hard their whole life, and now it's like, oh, the American dream is still out of reach for me. I'll never realize that. And we feel like we've kind of brought that dream back in this project, and that's a cool thing.
Well, that's a great thing. And I know that you've done a lot for our military. You've done a lot of USO tours, and I know this is a project that's very near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What classifies as a tiny home? How big are we talking here?
So there is a association that you can be a part of if you're really into the whole tiny home thing, and it's called NOAH, NOAH, and I'm sure that's an acronym for something, but a true tiny home has to be 400 square feet or less.
Okay.
And these are all exactly 400 square feet.
Okay. Yeah,
when I first heard that, I thought, oh my God, I can't even lay down in there. but when you get inside, I'm just telling you right now, when it comes to the homes, they're stick built on site. They are built like a Bradley tank. And a lot of tiny homes that you look at nowadays are just storage building conversions. Right. And we said, no, it's not going to be anything like that. These things are like, they're almost hurricane proof.
That's good.
And the good news is that they're out of the hurricane danger zone. So I had never really had much to do with that whole tiny home concept, but I could see there's great freedom in downsizing, and I could see myself spending some time in one of these at some point in my life.
Yeah. You're right. In this day and age with everything that's going on in this world and all the technology and everything, it's amazing the things that we think we can't live without,
Yes, that's exactly right.
And sometimes it's nice to get back to basics. And I know these homes, they're maximized for storage and things like that, and there's a lot of things that you put together and that make, maximize the space that you have. So it's they're bigger than we think. I think a lot of people will be surprised.
It is, and that's exactly right. What you're saying is they take advantage of every square inch. Like there's a sleep loft in this thing that you can put 2 queen size mattresses in. That'll sleep a lot of people, especially kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's pretty neat, like when you come to visit, and that's another thing. Over at Fort Rucker, they graduate a flight class out of that place every 2 weeks, and so there's going to be a ton of people coming in and out to celebrate their graduation with their families and all that. So I just think, and with our event center being in there, it's kind of like a really cool venue. They don't have anything like that in that part of the country, and I just think that's going to be an amazing deal.
Well, that is fantastic. Folks, again, please check out Darryl Worley, awfulbeautifulliferesort.com. And Darryl's website is darrylworley.com, of course. You can check out all of his tour dates and his great music. And speaking of that, I did want to talk about 25 years coming up for us September 11th. And Have You Forgotten? I think everybody knows the song, and I think it's just as relevant now as it was then. Tell me a little bit about that song and what your feelings are as we sit 25 years after 9/11 happened.
Well, Have You Forgotten actually came out in 2003, but it was the event of 9/11, and then my first journey to the war zone in Afghanistan after that happened was all of that stuff together is what spawned the and gave me the inspiration to write that song. And I sat down with a buddy of mine, really just to talk about that journey overseas and how it affected me. And then we started writing because of some of our conversation. And honest to God, we really thought that we would take that song over to the publishing company and they put it on the shelf with 1,200 other songs and let it collect dust, and nobody'd ever hear it. And I just played it at the Grand Ole Opry one night, and things changed. I mean, it changed my life and changed our tour schedule. It's just been one of those things that sort of defines your life, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know you won the Charlie Daniels Patriot Award, too, for your support for our military, and congratulations on that. That is well-deserved, and I do want to thank you for all that you've done. I think this is a fabulous project.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Are you working on some new music?
Yeah, we just serviced Here and Now, which was the one that I did over on the Neil McCoy label, and we just kind of got cut short on that thing, so everybody felt like it needed to be exposed again. And just because of the sort of the resurgence of traditional country, we're thinking that's going to be a good thing. We're also, in a few weeks, we're going to resurface Sounds Like Life, which is also the name of my podcast, Sounds Like Life with Darryl Worley. But then I have a new project that's completely finished, that's been in the can for a while, and it's a little bit more from that time period, and we thought, well, this might be a perfect time to put that out. So I think we're going to try to get that out before the end of the year, and then we're in the process of doing a Christian album, a gospel album that I've written most of those songs, and our goal is to get that out before the end of the year. So we're going to be really, really, really busy.
God, it sounds like it. That's great. That you mentioned to your podcast. I wanted to ask about that, and where can people tune into that?
Yeah, you can just Google Darryl Worley. Sounds Like Life with Darryl Worley, or YouTube it, and you'll find all the episodes. And we're going to continue to put episode out every other week. It's been doing really good.
That's fantastic. I know you had Neil McCoy on, and you mentioned him too. He was just on my show a couple weeks ago, and he's been doing the Pledge of Allegiance every day for 10 years. I think that's so awesome.
Isn't that something? I mean, that, and me and him were just talking about that, and we talked about it when he was on the podcast, and you just never know what little thing that you'll come up with. As a matter of fact, I used to at 11:09, I used to do a prayer every day, and that was one of the biggest things I ever did on the internet. People just feel engaged, and when Neil started that, I told my wife, I said, that's going to be big.
Yeah, and it sure is.
It is, yeah.
Well, I got to ask you one more question. I love this song. I'm a big George Jones fan, and you co-wrote a song called Sinners and Saints. Can you tell me the story behind that, and tell me what it was like to have George Jones record one of your songs?
Boy, if I had time to tell you the whole story, you would fall on the floor laughing. But yeah, me and my buddies got together, and we were kind of targeting him when we wrote it a little bit, because we knew it was coming up on his last album, and it wound up being his last radio single, and it's called Sinners and Saints, and it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek story about the culture that we live in and the way that we do things, and it's sort of poking fun at it a little bit. You just have to hear it. And the cool thing about it is George Jones got to do every vocal nuance that he had on this song, and that's why he loved it. Yeah. And he was crazy about it. He told me right off his own mouth it was his favorite song on the album. So I don't know if it gets much better than that.
That's for sure. I heard him do it in concert one time too, and you're right, man. He just bends those notes, and I just thought, man, what a perfect song for him. I've always loved that song.
I was blessed. I got to do a little casino parking lot tour with him and Loretta Lynn, and he had me out every evening to do that song with him.
Oh wow! Oh, that's cool.
Oh gosh, it was very special.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That's so cool. I'm going to play that for our listeners tonight, and play some of
Thank
Darryl's
you.
great songs too. And Darryl, thank you so much for everything you're doing, and I wish you all the best. And again, folks, please visit Darryl Worley, awfulbeautifulLifeResort.com. Check out all this great stuff that's going on, and I think you're going to be impressed just like I am. Darryl, thank you so much for taking time to be on My Kind of Country. It's been an honor talking with you, and I hope you'll come back when you got some more new music. We'd love to have you back on anytime.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on, man, helping us get the word out.
It is my honor. That's Darryl Worley right here on My Kind of Country as we continue. Thanks again, Darryl.